The real Saint Nicholas. Before he was the jolly man in the red suit, Santa Claus was inspired by a real person named Saint Nicholas of Myra. He lived in the 4th century in what is now modern-day Turkey. Nicholas was a wealthy bishop known for his deep kindness and secret gift-giving. One of the most famous legends tells of how he dropped bags of gold through a window to help a poor family, where the gold supposedly landed in stockings drying by the fire. Over the centuries, his story traveled through Europe, eventually evolving into the Dutch figure of Sinterklaas. When Dutch settlers brought these stories to America, Sinterklaas slowly transformed into the name we all know today, Santa Claus. The first Christmas trees. The tradition of bringing evergreen trees indoors started long before modern Christmas. In the cold winters of Germany during the 16th century, devout Christians began bringing decorated trees into their homes to represent eternal life. Some even built Christmas pyramids of wood and decorated them with evergreens and candles. It is widely believed that Martin Luther, the Protestant reformer, was the first to add lighted candles to a tree. Walking home one winter evening, he was struck by the beauty of stars twinkling through the branches of a fir tree. To recreate this scene for his family, he placed small candles on the branches of a tree in his parlor, creating the peaceful glow we still enjoy today. Jingle Bells' original purpose. Jingle Bells is one of the most recognizable songs in the world, but it wasn't originally written for Christmas. It was composed by James Lord Pierpont in the mid-19th century under the title The One-Horse Open Sleigh. Interestingly, the song was intended for a Thanksgiving program at a church in Savannah, Georgia. The lyrics describe the thrill of drag racing sleighs in the snow, which was a popular pastime for young people at the time. Because the song was so catchy, it was repeated during the Christmas season, and eventually, the bells of the sleigh became permanently associated with the arrival of Santa Claus, turning a Thanksgiving tune into a winter anthem.
Christmas in Japan. KFC tradition. In Japan, Christmas isn't a traditional national holiday, but it has developed one of the most unique food traditions in the world. Every year, millions of Japanese families celebrate by eating a meal from Kentucky Fried Chicken. This started in 1974 with a brilliant marketing campaign called Kurisumasu Niwa Kentucky, or Kentucky for Christmas. The idea was born after foreigners living in Japan looked for a substitute for turkey and settled on fried chicken. Today, the tradition is so popular that people often order their Christmas buckets weeks in advance, and lines at the restaurants can stretch down the street, proving that holiday spirit can be found in the most unexpected places. The origin of the red suit. Many people believe that Santa wears red because of Coca-Cola advertisements, but that is actually a myth. While Coca-Cola's beautiful illustrations in the 1930s certainly helped solidify the modern image of Santa, he was being depicted in red long before that. In the 19th century, political cartoonist Thomas Nast drew Santa in various colored suits, but eventually settled on red. Before this, St. Nicholas was often shown in bishop's robes, which were frequently red and white. Coca-Cola simply chose the version of Santa that already existed and made him a global icon. So while the soda company helped make him famous, the red suit belongs to history and folklore. The first Christmas in space. The holiday spirit has even reached beyond our planet. In December 1965, the crew of Gemini 6, astronauts Tom Stafford and Wally Schirra, decided to play a little prank on mission control. They reported seeing a UFO in a low polar orbit, describing it as having a command module and 8 smaller modules in front,
with the pilot wearing a red suit. After the laughter subsided, they pulled out a smuggled harmonica and a handful of small bells. They played a rendition of Jingle Bells, marking the first time music was ever performed in space. Those tiny bells and the harmonica are now on display at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum.
The significance of the Yule log. Long before the modern Christmas tree, the Yule log was the center of winter celebrations. In Northern Europe, ancient Norse and Celtic people would bring a massive log into the home during the winter solstice. The log was meant to burn for 12 days, symbolizing the return of the sun and the triumph of light over the darkness of winter. It was considered good luck to keep a small piece of the log to start the fire for the following year. As homes became smaller and fireplaces were replaced by stoves, the giant log was transformed into a dessert. This gave birth to the bûche de Noël, a delicious sponge cake decorated to look like a forest log. The mystery of mistletoe. The tradition of kissing under the mistletoe has deep roots in ancient mythology. The Druids saw mistletoe as a symbol of peace and joy, but it was a Norse legend that truly solidified its romantic reputation. According to the myth, when the god Balder was restored to life, his mother Frigg, the goddess of love, declared the mistletoe a symbol of love and vowed to kiss anyone who passed beneath it. By the 18th century, the English began a tradition where a berry was plucked for every kiss shared. Once the berries were gone, the kissing stopped for the season. It's a quiet reminder of how ancient folklore still gently influences our modern celebrations. The first Christmas card. In 1843, a man named Sir Henry Cole, a high-ranking civil servant in London, found himself too busy to write individual Christmas letters to all his friends and family. He hit upon a creative solution and commissioned an artist to design a card that showed a family celebrating at a table. He printed 1,000 copies, and the first commercial Christmas card was born. Each card featured the simple greeting, "A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you." While some people at the time found the design a bit controversial because it showed children sipping wine, the convenience of the idea caught on, eventually turning into the global tradition of sending warm wishes through the mail.
Rudolph's humble beginnings. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is one of the most beloved characters of the season, but he didn't start in a song or a movie. Rudolph was actually created in 1939 by Robert L. May, a copywriter for the Montgomery Ward department store. The store wanted to create a free coloring book for children to give away during the holidays. May drew inspiration from his own daughter's love for deer and his own childhood feelings of being an underdog. The story of a reindeer who was different but eventually saved the day was an instant hit. Over 2 million copies were distributed in that first year, proving that what makes us different is often our greatest strength. The 12 Days of Christmas. Many people think the 12 Days of Christmas refers to the days leading up to the holiday, but in traditional Christian calendars, the 12 days actually begin on Christmas Day and end on January 5th. This period is known as Twelvetide. Each of the 12 days was meant to be a celebration of a different saint or a significant religious event. The final night, known as Twelfth Night, was historically a time for massive parties and the exchange of gifts. This leads into Epiphany on January 6th, which commemorates the arrival of the 3 wise men. The famous song, with its partridges and pear trees, was a way to keep the festive spirit alive long after the initial excitement of Christmas morning. The invention of Christmas crackers.
If you've ever pulled a Christmas cracker and heard that satisfying pop, you have a London candy maker named Tom Smith to thank. In the mid-1840s, Smith was inspired by French bonbons, almonds wrapped in pretty paper. He wanted to add a sense of excitement to his sweets. Legend says he was sitting by a crackling fire when he heard a log pop, and he decided that his candy wrappers should do the same. He created a mechanism using 2 strips of chemically treated paper that would create a small bang when pulled. He eventually replaced the candy with small gifts, paper hats, and jokes, creating the festive tabletop tradition we enjoy today.
The legend of the poinsettia. The vibrant red poinsettia is a staple of holiday decor, and it comes with a beautiful legend from Mexico. It is said that a young, poor girl named Pepita had no gift to give the baby Jesus at the Christmas Eve service. Feeling heartbroken, she gathered a handful of common weeds from the roadside and fashioned them into a small bouquet. As she placed them at the altar, the weeds miraculously transformed into brilliant red blooms. These flowers, known in Mexico as Flores de Nochebuena, or Flowers of the Holy Night, eventually made their way to America in the 1820s, thanks to Joel Roberts Poinsett, the first U.S. minister to Mexico. The Christmas Truce of 1914. During the first winter of World War I, one of the most moving events in history took place along the Western Front. On Christmas Eve, German and British soldiers who had been fighting for months began to sing carols to one another across the frozen no-man's land. Eventually, men from both sides climbed out of their trenches to shake hands, exchange small gifts like cigarettes and plum pudding, and even play a friendly game of soccer on the icy ground. For one quiet day, the sounds of battle were replaced by the sounds of laughter and shared humanity, showing that even in the darkest of times, the spirit of peace can prevail. The history of eggnog. Eggnog is a thick, creamy holiday staple that likely evolved from a medieval British drink called posset. Posset was a hot, ale-like drink made with curdled milk and spices. By the 1700s, the recipe shifted to include eggs and expensive spirits like sherry or brandy, making it a drink for the wealthy who could afford such luxuries. When the drink arrived in the American colonies, where farms were plentiful, people began using rum from the Caribbean and fresh milk from their own cows. The name nog may come from noggin, a small wooden mug used to serve the drink in taverns. Today, its warm, nutmeg-scented aroma remains a comforting signal that winter has arrived.
The origin of Silent Night. The world's most famous lullaby, Silent Night, was born out of necessity in a small Austrian village in 1818. On Christmas Eve, the organ at St. Nicholas Church was broken. Some say it was chewed by mice, others say it was damaged by flooding. The assistant pastor, Joseph Moore, didn't want the service to be silent, so he brought a poem he had written years earlier to the church organist, Franz Gruber. He asked Gruber to compose a simple melody that could be played on a guitar. That night, for the very first time, the gentle chords of Stille Nacht echoed through the church, creating a moment of pure, quiet beauty that has since been translated into over 300 languages. The first Advent calendars. The tradition of counting down the days until Christmas began in Germany in the early 19th century. In those days, families would simply mark 24 chalk lines on a door
and rub one off every day starting on December 1st. Some families would light a new candle or hang a small religious picture on the wall for each day of the month. The first printed Advent calendar appeared in the early 1900s, featuring small pictures that could be pasted onto a cardboard sheet. It wasn't until the late 1950s that the chocolate-filled calendars we love today became popular, adding a sweet little treat to the daily anticipation of the holiday. The rise of the ugly Christmas sweater. What started as a sincere, if a bit garish, fashion choice in the 1980s has become a massive modern tradition. Originally called Jingle Bell sweaters, these bright, over-the-top knits were often handmade gifts from grandmothers. In the early 2000s, the trend shifted into a humorous celebration of kitsch. Vancouver, Canada is often credited with hosting the first official ugly Christmas sweater party in 2002. Today, it is a multi-million-dollar industry, with people competing to find the most outrageous designs, featuring 3D bells, flashing LED lights, and pop culture characters, proving that sometimes the best way to celebrate is by not taking ourselves too seriously.
NORAD tracks Santa. One of the most heartwarming modern traditions began with a simple phone number mistake in 1955. A local Sears store in Colorado Springs printed a newspaper ad inviting children to call Santa, but the number was misprinted. Instead of reaching the North Pole, the calls went straight to the Continental Air Defense Command Operations Center. The director on duty, Colonel Harry Shoup, realized what had happened and ordered his staff to give all the children updates on Santa's flight coordinates. This evolved into the NORAD Tracks Santa program, which now uses high-tech satellites and Santa cams to show millions of families exactly where the sleigh is on Christmas Eve. A modern anthem, All I Want for Christmas Is You. In the world of modern music, few songs have achieved the legendary status of Mariah Carey's 1994 hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You. It is rare for a contemporary song to become a standard alongside classics from the 1940s, but this track managed to do it. Interestingly, the song was written in just 15 minutes. Despite its upbeat tempo, it carries a nostalgic, Phil Spector-inspired wall of sound that feels both modern and timeless. Since its release, it has returned to the top of the charts almost every single year, becoming the soundtrack to shopping malls and holiday parties across the entire globe. The Rockefeller Center Tree. The giant Norway spruce in New York City's Rockefeller Center is a global symbol of the holidays, but its origin was very humble. The first tree was placed there in 1931 during the Great Depression by construction workers who were grateful to have jobs. They decorated a small 20-foot balsam fir with strings of cranberries and tin cans. Today, the tree is usually over 70 feet tall and is draped in 5 miles of wire and over 50,000 multicolored LED lights. To keep with modern environmental standards, the tree is topped with a Swarovski crystal star, and after the holidays, it is donated to Habitat for Humanity to be used as lumber for building homes.
The Elf on the Shelf. In 2005, a new tradition took the world by storm when a mother and daughter published a book called The Elf on the Shelf. The story explains that scout elves hide in people's homes to watch over the children and report back to Santa each night. Every morning, the children wake up to find the elf in a new, often mischievous position. What started as a small family project has turned into a global phenomenon, with millions of elves currently living in homes around the world. It's a modern way of building anticipation and magic throughout the month of December, creating a daily game of hide-and-seek for families. Home Alone's box office record. For many, the modern Christmas season doesn't truly begin until they watch the 1990 film Home Alone. The movie was an unexpected juggernaut, holding the Guinness World Record for the highest-grossing live-action comedy for an incredible 27 years. It was so popular that it stayed in theaters for months after Christmas had ended, remaining the #1 movie well into the following summer. The film's cozy depiction of a suburban Chicago Christmas, complete with a beautiful house and a soaring John Williams score, helped define the look and feel of a modern American Christmas for viewers all over the world. The Hallmark movie phenomenon. In the last decade, a new, modern tradition has emerged, the Christmas movie marathon. The Hallmark Channel began its countdown to Christmas in 2009, and since then it has produced hundreds of original holiday films. These movies follow a very specific, comforting formula, often involving a small town setting, a festive festival, and a happy ending. While they are often light-hearted and predictable, that is exactly why people love them. In a fast-paced modern world, these movies offer a quiet, stress-free escape, providing a sense of warmth and community that many people find deeply relaxing during the winter months.
Digital gift giving and e-cards. As technology has advanced, the way we share the spirit of Christmas has moved into the digital realm. While physical cards are still cherished, millions of people now use e-cards, animated digital greetings that can be sent instantly across the world. Similarly, the rise of digital gift cards and subscription services has changed how we think about stocking stuffers. From sending a digital book to a friend's e-reader to gifting a streaming service subscription, these modern gifts allow us to stay connected with loved ones, even if they are thousands of miles away, proving that the heart of the holiday is about the thought, not just the package. The evolution of the Grinch. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas was first published in 1957, but the character has seen a massive modern resurgence. From the classic 1966 animated special to the 2000 live-action film and the 2018 3D animation, the Grinch has become a modern icon of the holiday season. Interestingly, the Grinch has gone from being a villain to a relatable figure for many adults who feel overwhelmed by the holiday rush. His journey from a cold heart to one that grows 3 sizes remains one of the powerful modern myths, reminding us that the holiday is not about the ribbons, tags, packages, or bags, but about kindness. Modern sustainable traditions. In recent years, a new modern trend has emerged, the eco-friendly Christmas. Many people are moving away from plastic decorations and towards sustainable choices. This includes living Christmas trees that are rented in pots and replanted after the holidays, or using recycled brown paper and twine for gift wrapping. LED lights, which use 80% less energy than traditional bulbs, have also become the standard. This modern shift shows a growing desire to celebrate the beauty of the season while also protecting the natural world, ensuring that the snowy winter landscapes we love so much will be around for many generations to come.
Mariah Carey is defrosting. In the world of social media, the Christmas season no longer officially begins on a calendar date, but with a viral video. Every year, as soon as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween,
pop icon Mariah Carey posts a video signaling the start of the holidays. These videos often feature her being thawed out from a block of ice or transitioning from a spooky costume into a festive red gown. The "Mariah is defrosting" meme has become a digital tradition, shared by millions to jokingly acknowledge the instant shift in the cultural atmosphere. It's a light-hearted way the internet marks the passage of time, turning a marketing moment into a collective global celebration of the music to come. The Legend of Whamageddon. The internet has created its own unique games for the holidays, and perhaps the most famous is Whamageddon. The rules are simple but difficult. Players must try to go as long as possible in the month of December without hearing the song "Last Christmas" by the band Wham. The challenge begins on December 1st and ends at midnight on Christmas Eve. In a world where holiday music is played in every grocery store, mall, and radio station, avoiding this specific 1980s hit is nearly impossible. When a player finally hears the song, they are sent to Whamhalla and must post about their defeat on social media. It's a quiet, funny way the internet stays connected through a shared, playful struggle. The Great Die Hard Debate. One of the internet's most persistent and peaceful holiday arguments is whether or not the 1988 action film Die Hard counts as a Christmas movie. While it features explosions and high-stakes tension, it takes place entirely during a corporate Christmas party and is set to a soundtrack of holiday tunes. Every December, social media feeds are filled with fans defending its status as a festive classic. Even the film's writer has weighed in, confirming that it is indeed a Christmas movie. This debate has become a tradition in itself, showing how modern audiences love to redefine what holiday spirit looks like, blending a bit of grit with their seasonal cheer. The Reddit Secret Santa. For over a decade, the website Reddit hosted what became the world's largest Secret Santa gift exchange. What started as a small community idea grew into a massive global event, earning a Guinness World Record for the most participants in a gift exchange. People from every corner of the globe were matched with strangers to send thoughtful, anonymous gifts. The most famous participant was often Bill Gates, who was known for sending incredibly generous and highly personalized packages to his lucky match. While the official Reddit exchange has since ended, it left a lasting legacy of how the internet can use its scale to foster genuine kindness and connection between people who have never met. Google's Digital North Pole. Every December, Google transforms into a digital winter wonderland through its Santa Tracker website. While it is famous for showing Santa's location on Christmas Eve, the site is actually a month-long hub of educational games and holiday fun. Users can learn how to say Merry Christmas in dozens of languages, practice basic coding by helping elves organize presents, and explore the history of holiday traditions around the world. It's a modern way for children and adults alike to engage with the holiday through their screens, turning technology into a tool for curiosity and festive learning as we count down the days together. The iconic Mean Girls performance. A single scene from the 2004 movie Mean Girls has become a permanent fixture in holiday pop culture. The scene features the main characters performing a choreographed dance to Jingle Bell Rock in matching Santa outfits. When the music accidentally cuts out, the crowd joins in to sing the lyrics, saving the performance. Today, this clip is shared millions of times every December as a meme or a nostalgic tribute. It has inspired countless recreations on TikTok and YouTube, proving that a movie doesn't have to be about Christmas to become a central part of how we celebrate the season in the digital age. The fireplace for your home trend.
In a digital twist on the classic Yule log, one of the most popular things to watch on Netflix during December is simply a video of a crackling fire. Fireplace for Your Home was created by filmmaker George Ford, who spent years perfecting the lighting and the specific pop sounds of the wood. There are no actors, no plot, and no dialogue, just the cozy visual of a high-definition fire. This slow TV phenomenon has become a staple for city dwellers who don't have real fireplaces. It's a beautiful example of how we use modern technology to recreate the ancient, soothing feeling of sitting by a hearth, helping us feel grounded and calm. The Christmas tree emoji. The Christmas tree emoji is one of the most frequently used icons in the world during the month of December. But beyond just being a decoration for text messages, it has become a symbol of holiday aesthetic on platforms like Instagram and Pinterest. Data shows that the use of the tree and sparkle emojis begins to spike as early as mid-November. The internet uses these small digital symbols to signal a change in mood, moving away from the fast-paced energy of the year and toward a time of reflection, light, and coziness. It's a tiny, pixelated reminder that the spirit of the season is present, even in our digital conversations. Festive lo-fi beats. A modern staple of the internet during the holidays is the lo-fi Christmas livestream. These YouTube channels play slowed-down, jazzy, instrumental versions of classic carols, usually accompanied by an animation of a character relaxing in a cozy, smelly room. This genre of music is designed specifically for focus, relaxation, and sleep. By stripping away the lyrics and the high-energy production of traditional holiday pop, these beats provide a soothing background for the often stressful holiday rush. Millions of people tune into these streams to create a digital sanctuary, using the internet to find a moment of peace and quiet in a busy world. The history of the gingerbread house. Gingerbread has been around for thousands of years, but the tradition of making gingerbread houses began in Germany during the 1800s. Many historians believe this tradition was sparked by the famous Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Hansel and Gretel, in which two children discover a house made entirely of treats. After the story was published, German bakers began crafting ornate fairy tale houses out of spiced gingerbread and sugar frosting. The tradition eventually made its way across the ocean, becoming a staple of the holiday season. Today, these edible structures range from simple kits for children to massive, record-breaking architectural wonders made of hundreds of pounds of dough. Why we leave cookies for Santa. The custom of leaving a plate of cookies and a glass of milk for Santa Claus took root during the Great Depression in the 1930s. During this time of great economic hardship, parents wanted to teach their children the importance of showing gratitude and sharing with others, even when they had very little. By leaving a small snack for Santa, children learned to give back to someone who worked hard to bring them joy. While the types of treats vary around the world, like sherry and mince pies in the UK or Guinness in Ireland, the sentiment remains the same: a quiet moment of thank you left on a saucer in the middle of the night. The legend of the candy cane. The candy cane is said to have originated in Germany in 1670. Legend has it that the choirmaster at the Cologne Cathedral was worried about children being noisy and restless during the long Christmas Eve service. To keep them quiet, he asked a local candy maker to create some sugar sticks. He requested that the sticks be bent at the top to resemble a shepherd's staff, symbolizing the biblical story of the shepherds who visited the baby Jesus. These shepherds' crooks were handed out to the children to keep them occupied. It wasn't until much later that the red stripes and peppermint flavor were added, turning the simple white sugar stick into the iconic holiday treat we recognize now. The Christmas shoes.
and internet humor. In the early 2000s, a song called "The Christmas Shoes" became a hit, telling a very sad story about a boy buying shoes for his sick mother. While it was intended to be a heart-wrenching ballad, the internet has since adopted it as a source of ironic holiday humor. Every year, people on social media debate whether it is the saddest song ever written or simply too over the top. This love-to-hate-it relationship is a hallmark of internet culture, where people bond over shared opinions on pop culture relics. Whether you find it touching or a bit much, the song's annual resurgence on social media is a sign that the holidays are officially here. The 13 Yule Lads of Iceland. In Iceland, children don't just wait for one Santa Claus, they wait for 13. Known as the Yule Lads, these mischievous characters visit children one by one on the 13 nights leading up to Christmas. Each lad has a specific, funny personality and a name that describes his favorite prank, like spoon licker, door slammer, or sausage swinger. Children leave their shoes on the windowsill, hoping for small gifts or sweets. If they've been naughty, however, they might find a cold old potato instead. This tradition turns the countdown to Christmas into a 2-week-long story filled with folklore and a little bit of playful mystery. Italy's Christmas witch, La Befana. In Italy, the gift-giving doesn't end on December 25th. On the night of January 5th, children eagerly await a visit from La Befana. She is an old woman, often depicted as a friendly witch riding a broomstick. Legend says she was invited by the 3 wise men to join them in their search for the baby Jesus. She declined at first, but later changed her mind, and now she flies across Italy every year, leaving toys and candy for good children. She is said to be a very tidy houseguest. Many believe she sweeps the floor before she leaves, symbolizing the sweeping away of the year's problems before the new season begins.
The magic of Santa Claus Village. In the heart of the Finnish Lapland, right on the edge of the Arctic Circle, lies the official Santa Claus Village. Located in the town of Rovaniemi, this magical destination is open all year round. Visitors can cross the literal white line that marks the Arctic Circle and visit Santa in his office. The village is nestled in a thick pine forest, often blanketed in deep, powdery snow. It feels like stepping into a living postcard, where the glow of lanterns reflects off the ice and the quiet peace of the north is felt in every breath. It is a place where the childhood dream of the North Pole feels entirely real. Reindeer eyes change color. Reindeer are the only mammals whose eyes are known to change color depending on the season. In the summer, when the sun is constantly shining in the Arctic, their eyes are a golden brown color to help reflect the intense light. However, during the long, dark blue months of winter, their eyes change to a deep, shimmering blue. This change helps them see more clearly in the low light and detect predators in the shadows. It is a beautiful biological mystery that makes these creatures seem even more magical, as if they were perfectly designed by nature to navigate the dark, snowy nights of Christmas Eve. Hiding brooms in Norway. In Norway, a centuries-old tradition involves hiding all the brooms in the house on Christmas Eve. Ancient folklore suggested that on this night, witches and mischievous spirits would come out to play, and they would look for brooms to ride across the winter sky. To prevent their brooms from being stolen, families would tuck them away in the most secure parts of the home. While most Norwegians today don't actually believe in broom-stealing witches, many still hide their brooms as a fun way to honor their heritage. It creates a quiet, cozy evening
where everything is tucked away and safe from the magic outside.
The legend of talking animals. An old European legend says that at exactly midnight on Christmas Eve, for one brief minute, all animals are granted the power of human speech. This belief likely stems from the idea that the animals in the stable were the first to witness the arrival of the baby Jesus and were blessed because of it. Farmers used to bring extra hay and treats to their livestock on this night, whispering their thanks for a year of hard work. Even today, many people make it a point to give their pets a special Christmas dinner at midnight, honoring the quiet, loyal bond we share with the creatures who share our lives. Roller skating to church in Venezuela. In the city of Caracas, Venezuela, people have a very active way of getting to the early morning church services held between December 16th and 24th. Entire neighborhoods wake up early, strap on their roller skates, and glide through the streets together. The tradition has become so popular that many roads are actually closed to cars until 8 a.m. to keep the skaters safe. It's a joyful, rhythmic way to start the day, with the sound of wheels on pavement replacing the sound of sleigh bells. Afterward, everyone gathers for hot coffee and tostados, celebrating the morning in the warm tropical air. The mystery of the Christmas pickle. One of the strangest holiday traditions in the United States is the Christmas pickle. An ornament shaped like a green pickle is hidden deep within the branches of the Christmas tree. On Christmas morning, the first person to find the pickle is said to receive an extra gift or a year of good luck. While many believe this is an old German tradition, it is actually a mystery. Most people in Germany have never heard of it. Whether it started as a marketing trick or a lucky legend, the search for the pickle has become a quiet, focused family game that adds a bit of extra fun to the morning festivities.
Gifts for our furry friends. Modern Christmas has become a major event for pets, too. Recent surveys show that nearly 95% of pet owners buy gifts for their dogs, cats, and even hamsters. From pup cups of whipped cream to new squeaky toys and cozy sweaters, our animals are treated like full members of the family. In many households, pets even have their own stockings hanging by the fireplace. This modern trend reflects a shift in how we view our companions, not just as animals, but as sources of unconditional love and comfort. Giving them a gift is a simple way for us to say thank you for the peace they bring to our homes all year long. Letters to 96930 Rovaniemi. Every year, the Santa Claus main post office in Finland receives over 500,000 letters from children in nearly 200 different countries. Each letter is carefully handled by postal elves, and many receive a reply with a special Arctic Circle postmark. The official address is simply Santa Claus, Santa Claus's main post office, 96930 Rovaniemi, Finland. This post office is a hub of global hope, filled with drawings, wish lists, and even secrets from children all over the world. It serves as a reminder that no matter how far apart we are, we all share the same sense of wonder and the same desire to reach out to the magic of the North. The Sleepy Listener. If you are hearing my voice right now, you are part of a growing global community of people who use the gentle hum of fun facts to quiet their minds at the end of a long day. There is something uniquely soothing about the history of the holidays. It's a safe, warm space for your brain to rest.
However, if you have made it this far and your eyes are still wide open, perhaps your mind isn't quite ready for sleep just yet. If that's the case, don't fight it. Maybe this is the perfect moment to quietly get up, fix a small snack, and put on a classic Christmas movie. Sometimes, a bit of cinematic nostalgia is exactly what you need to finally drift off. But if you're still feeling cozy, let's continue our journey through the lighter side of the season.
The wassail and mulled wine mishaps. Mulled wine is a holiday staple, but its ancestor, wassail, has a much rowdier history. The word comes from the Old Norse veshael, meaning be well. In medieval England, wassailing involved people going into orchards to sing to the trees and splash them with wine to ensure a good harvest. As the tradition moved indoors, people began heating wine with spices and sugar. One funny historical method involved sticking a red-hot iron poker directly from the fireplace into the mug to heat the drink instantly. This often resulted in singed eyebrows and many broken ceramic mugs, proving that our ancestors were just as impatient for their holiday treats as we are today. The 12 Days of Christmas Price Index. Every year, economists at PNC Bank calculate the Christmas Price Index, which tracks exactly how much it would cost to actually buy everything mentioned in the song, The 12 Days of Christmas. In recent years, the total has soared to over $46,000. The most expensive items are consistently the 7 Swans a-Swimming, which cost around $13,000 alone, and the 10 Lords a-Leaping, whose hiring fees increase every year. On the other hand, the Partridge in a Pear Tree is surprisingly affordable. It's a humorous way to look at inflation through the lens of a centuries-old carol, reminding us that even fictional gift-giving has its budget limits. The retail music loop. If you've ever worked in retail during December, you know the specific psychological challenge of the Christmas music loop. Most stores have a playlist of about 20 to 30 songs that repeat every few hours, 8 hours a day for 6 weeks. Scientists have actually studied this phenomenon, calling it Christmas music fatigue. They found that while holiday music initially boosts shopping spirits, hearing the same version of Jingle Bell Rock for the 100th time can actually trigger a fight or flight response in employees. Some modern stores have finally caught on, instructing managers to mix in seasonal adjacent jazz or lo-fi beats to keep the staff and the customers from losing their festive cheer.
Professional Santa schools. Being Santa Claus is a serious career. There are several Santa schools around the world, the most famous being the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School in Michigan. Here, aspiring Santas learn the proper way to say ho ho ho, which should come from the diaphragm, not the throat. They also study child psychology, learn how to handle reindeer, and even take classes on beard grooming and suit maintenance. To be a top-tier Santa, you often need sleigh insurance and a background check. It's a funny reminder that behind that jolly red suit is a professional who has likely spent weeks studying how to bring a smile to a child's face. The forbidden mince pie. There is a long-standing urban legend that it is illegal to eat mince pies on Christmas Day in England. This myth dates back to the 1600s and the time of Oliver Cromwell, who tried to ban the excesses of Christmas, including festive treats. While the law was technically repealed centuries ago, it remains one of those zombie laws that people love to quote at dinner parties. In fact, if the law were still in place, almost the entire population of the UK would be in trouble, as it's estimated that the British public consumes roughly 800 million mince pies every single December. Luckily, the only real crime today is running out of brandy butter to go with them. The immortal fruitcake. The Christmas fruitcake is the subject of endless jokes, mostly because of its incredible shelf life. Because they are packed with sugar and often soaked in high-proof alcohol, fruitcakes can last for years, sometimes even decades, without spoiling. In fact, there is a family in Michigan that has a fruitcake baked in 1878,
It has been passed down as a family heirloom for over 140 years. This immortality led to the creation of the Great Fruitcake Toss in Colorado, a competition where people use catapults and cannons to see how far they can launch the dense cakes. It seems the fruitcake's true purpose isn't to be eaten, but to be a feat of engineering.
The mystery of tinsel. We think of tinsel as cheap, sparkly plastic, but it was originally a luxury item for the ultra-wealthy. In the 1600s, tinsel was made from real, hammered-out silver. While it looked beautiful reflecting the candlelight, it had one major flaw. Silver tarnishes very quickly. A tree decorated in expensive silver tinsel would turn black and dull within a few days from the smoke of the candles. Eventually, manufacturers tried using lead, which stayed shiny but was unfortunately quite poisonous. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that safe, lightweight plastic tinsel was invented, allowing us all to cover our trees in sparkle without the risk of tarnishing or toxic fumes. The financial January hangover. In modern pop culture, the January hangover doesn't refer to New Year's Eve drinks, but to the moment the credit card bills arrive after Christmas. Statistics show that the average person takes until April to fully pay off their holiday spending. This has led to a humorous post-Christmas culture on the internet, where people share budget recipes and vow to live like monks for the first month of the year. It's a funny cycle we repeat every year: the frantic must-buy energy of December, followed by the "why did I buy that?" reflection of January. It serves as a gentle reminder that the best memories are usually the ones that didn't come with a price tag. Santa's real height. If you look closely at the original 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, you'll find a funny detail about Santa's size that most people overlook. The narrator describes Santa as being chubby and plump, but also calls him a right jolly old elf, and mentions his miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. This implies that in the original vision of Santa, he wasn't a 6-foot-tall man, but a tiny, magical being, perhaps only a few inches tall. Over time, as Santa became a symbol of department stores and parades, he grew to human size to make him easier for actors to portray. It's funny to think that the original Santa could have comfortably sat in the palm of your hand. The physics of Santa's sleigh. Have you ever wondered if Santa could truly deliver all those gifts in a single night? According to physicists, Santa has a bit of help from the Earth's rotation. By traveling from east to west, he gains extra time, effectively stretching Christmas Eve into a 31-hour marathon. To visit every household, it's estimated he would need to travel at roughly 650 miles per second, about 3,000 times the speed of sound. While that seems impossible for a standard sleigh, many believe Santa utilizes relativity clouds or time warps to ensure he can take his time at every chimney without the world ever noticing. It's a quiet, scientific way to look at the sheer scale of the magic. The mystery of the elves. The elves we know today, tiny, pointy-eared helpers in green tunics, are actually a fairly modern invention. In ancient Norse and Germanic mythology, Alfar, or elves, were often seen as supernatural, human-sized beings with great power and beauty. It wasn't until the mid-1800s, specifically with the publication of the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, that the idea of Santa's helpers being tiny took hold. These Christmas elves were popularized by Victorian-era writers who wanted to create a sense of whimsical, hidden magic. Today, we imagine them living in a secret, bustling city under the ice, working in perfect harmony to ensure every toy is crafted with care. A forest of Christmas trees. The scale of the Christmas tree industry is truly breathtaking. Every year, in the United States alone, approximately 25 to 30 million real Christmas trees are sold.
To keep up with this demand, there are about 350 million trees currently growing on Christmas tree farms across the country. These trees aren't just cut from wild forests, they are carefully cultivated crops. For every tree that is harvested, farmers usually plant 1 to 3 seedlings in its place the following spring. It's a continuous, decades-long cycle of growth and renewal that ensures the scent of fresh pine remains a part of our winter memories for generations to come.
The Billion Card Bridge. Even in our digital age, the tradition of sending physical Christmas cards remains incredibly strong. In the United States, it is estimated that over 1.3 billion Christmas cards are sent through the mail every single year. If you were to line those cards up end to end, they would stretch across the ocean and back several times. This creates a massive, invisible bridge of paper and ink connecting friends and family who may not have spoken all year. There is something deeply soothing about the ritual of opening a mailbox to find a handwritten note, a quiet reminder that someone, somewhere, is thinking of you during the darkest days of the year.
Where Christmas isn't a holiday. While Christmas is celebrated by billions, there are about 40 countries where it is not an official public holiday. In nations like Saudi Arabia, North Korea, Algeria, and Thailand, December 25th is often just another working day. However, even in many of these places, you will still find festive displays in large cities or hotels. In countries like China, Christmas has become a popular commercial holiday where young people exchange gifts and go out to dinner, even though it has no traditional or religious roots there. It shows how the spirit of the season, the desire for light and togetherness, often transcends official calendars. A summer Christmas in Australia. In Australia, Christmas falls in the middle of a sweltering summer heat wave. Instead of cozy sweaters and roaring fires, Australians often celebrate with carols by candlelight in outdoor parks and beaches. The traditional Christmas dinner is frequently a cold seafood platter featuring fresh king prawns, or a barbie, a backyard barbecue. Santa is often depicted in a red swimsuit or boardies, being pulled by 6 white boomers, which are large male kangaroos. It's a vibrant, sunny version of the holiday that reminds us that the warmth of Christmas doesn't always have to come from a fireplace.
The names of the reindeer. We all know the 8 original reindeer, but they have changed quite a bit over the centuries. In the original 1823 poem, the last 2 reindeer were actually named Dunder and Bliksem. These are the Dutch words for thunder and lightning. Over the years, through various reprints and cultural shifts, Dunder became Donder and finally Donner, while Bliksem evolved into Blitzen. This linguistic journey shows how our holiday traditions are constantly being reshaped by the people who tell the stories, turning ancient weather symbols into the loyal flying companions we know today. The real Christmas Island. There is a real place called Christmas Island, located in the Indian Ocean. It was given its name by Captain William Miners, who sailed past it on Christmas Day in 1643. While it doesn't have snow or reindeer, it is world famous for a different kind of miracle, the annual red crab migration. Every year around the holiday season, millions of bright red crabs emerge from the forest to march toward the sea to spawn.
The island's roads are often closed to protect the crabs, creating a sea of red that is just as spectacular as any holiday parade. It's a reminder that nature has its own way of putting on a show during the festive season.
Real versus artificial, the long debate. The debate between real and artificial trees is a modern holiday staple. While artificial trees are convenient and can last for 10 years, real trees are considered more environmentally friendly by many experts because they are biodegradable and provide habitats for wildlife while they grow. Interestingly, the first artificial trees were actually made in Germany in the 19th century using goose feathers that were dyed green. Later, in the 1930s, a company that made toilet brushes used the same machinery to create the first bristle-based artificial trees. Today, the choice is yours, but whether it's feathers, bristles, or pine needles, the goal remains the same: to bring a bit of nature's beauty indoors. Santa's official zip code. If you live in Canada, you can send a letter to Santa and use his very own official postal code, HOHOHOH. This clever nod to his famous laugh was established by Canada Post over 30 years ago. Every year, thousands of postal elves, who are actually retired postal workers and volunteers, spend their time answering millions of letters from children in over 30 different languages. They ensure that every child who writes to the North Pole receives a thoughtful reply. It's a quiet, massive act of volunteerism that keeps the magic alive, ensuring that even in the busiest time of year, no letter goes unread.